The following is a special presentation of ABC Sports.
International gymnastics is a sport for the aggressiveness and daring of youth. It's a world of 14-year-old phenoms and 17-year-old veterans. It's a world filled with great champions. Many who finished long before their time. But today, the greatest gymnasts of the 80s, winners of over 125 medals in world and Olympic competition, have come together to open the door to the unknown world of professional competition, and they're all here. The cornerstone of the Soviet Union's unparalleled men's program, Olympic champion Vladimir Archimov. And the two women who turned Romania into the best team in the world, Aurelia Dobre and Daniela Silivosh. And the woman who beat them both at the '88 Olympics, Elena Shushanova of the Soviet Union. Those foreign stars will be joined by their American counterparts, like Tim Daggett, a member of the 1984 Olympic gold medal team. And 1989 World Championship silver medalist Brandy Johnson, all grown up now at the age of 18. Together, they'll try to recapture the glory of their youth at the first World Professional Gymnastics Championships, live from Fairfax, Virginia.
Spanning the globe to bring you the constant variety of sport, the thrill of victory, and the agony of defeat. In our 30th anniversary season, this is ABC's Wide World of Sports.
Over the years, Wide World has introduced many different concepts in the world of sport. Well, today marks the first time that the sport of gymnastics has held a professional competition. Today's competition features an impressive array of world and Olympic champions. For more, let's join Roger Twibell. Roger?
Cheering loudly for our next athlete.
Thank you very much, Frank. We're at the George Mason University Patriot Center in Fairfax, Virginia, about a half hour outside of our nation's capital. And today is the beginning of what gymnasts hope will be a very successful experiment, and that experiment is professional gymnastics. These athletes start their careers at a very young age, but unfortunately also end their careers at a young age, because outside of exhibitions, they have nowhere to go with the sport. But $50,000 in prize money being offered here today, and that's got these gymnasts awfully excited. Working alongside me is Kathy Johnson. Kathy, what do you think of this idea of pro gymnastics?
Well, Roger, it should be the start of something new and exciting. We have some of the greatest names in gymnastics history here, including world and Olympic champions going as far back as 1983, which should also make it pretty interesting because many of these gymnasts, except for Brandy Johnson, who just retired 6 months ago, have not been in competition in several years.
And also working with us is Bart Connor. And Bart, for the fans watching today, what's going to be the difference between pro gymnastics and the amateur kind they're used to?
Well, there's going to be a couple of very important differences. One thing is that the rules are very different here, and the scoring system is absolutely completely different. We're on a 100-point system as opposed to a 10-point system. The judges have basically challenged the gymnasts to design the routines based on entertainment purposes rather than on the strict guidelines of international amateur gymnastics. In addition, there's no all-around performers here. Typically in the world and Olympic competitions, the athletes have to compete in the all-around. Here they're specializing in just their best events.
Okay, Bart, thank you. We're getting set to go. Tim Daggett, a veteran of U.S. Olympic teams, 28 years of age, from West Springfield, Massachusetts, is set to go.
Tim told me he's working on a new routine here. It's the most difficult routine he's attempted in his career. And once again, we said that the gymnasts are using music and choreography and costuming more so than we've seen in, of course, amateur competition. Tim is slashing through this pommel horse routine with the Thomas flares. No scissors, as used to be a requirement, certainly in amateur gymnastics, but a big finish for Tim Daggett.
So Tim Daggett, who has taken the road of many gymnasts, a coach and a commentator, and now getting ready on the vault is Elena Shushanova of the Soviet Union. And she capped a brilliant career with a gold medal in the all-around at the '88 Olympic Games. Locked in the greatest head-to-head battle in Olympic history with Romania's Daniela Silivash, Shushunova dealt a decisive blow in the final rotation when she scored a perfect 10 in the vault. And I guess, Kathy, difference in amateur and professional in the costumes, too.
Absolutely. We're going to see a lot of wild costumes today in this competition. Yelena was two-time world champion on this event in 1985 and 1987. And of course, she's the current Olympic all-around champion in the most dramatic all-around competition in Olympic history.
By the way, Tim Daggett scored an 88 on the pommel horse.
Performing a handspring front. Whoa, she was tucked on the horse. I could see she was not going to make that one at all. But she's got the second vault in women's gymnastics. Oh, she's not happy with that.
So, Kathy, you'd have to say the layoff since '88 when she last competed has affected her.
Oh, it certainly has. Most of these gymnasts, since they didn't really have any place to go, and this came up sort of last minute, they were not prepared.
So this is how the scoring is going to work, and Bart, it's considerably different from the amateur scoring.
Well, let's first of all look at difficulty. The judges are looking for strength, power, and skill selection in combination and execution, form, body line, rhythm, and their landings, of course. And general impression includes creativity, uniqueness, style, and variety. Now, if the gymnasts get 33 in each of the categories, they get the automatic 1-point bonus, and that would be 100 points.
Kathy Shushunova scored 86 on her first vault.
And you know she's going to try and improve on that on her second vault. She needs a better approach, better pre-flight, much better. Whoa, no, over-rotated. Oh, how frustrating. Too little on the first one, too much on the second one.
Well, Elena's engaged to be married. Her husband-to-be is not a gymnast.
He was the national champion.
And she has been going to school the past couple of years and plans to go into coaching, although she has competed in some exhibitions. So a score of 92 on her second vault, though, for Shushunova, and we'll return in a moment.
ABC's Wide World of Sports is brought to you by Delta Faucet Company. Delta, the way water is brought to life. By Sears Auto Center. You got to ask yourself, who's going to back you better in Sears? By Non-Stick Freedent Gum. Non-Stick Freedent moistens your mouth and freshens your breath. And by Kellogg's. The best to you each morning.
And we welcome you back to the George Mason University Patriot Center in Fairfax, Virginia, for this first World Professional Gymnastics Championship. And that's Natalia Yurchenko of the Soviet Union. She's 26 years of age and just completed her first vault. They have, Kathy, let's take a look at this first one.
She had a lot of trouble on this vault, and if you can remember, she originated this vault. It's called the Yurchenko. She had a lot of trouble on the pre-flight, couldn't get a lot of push. Now keep in mind, Natalia has been out of competition since 1983. And she was the all-around world champion in 1983 and a favorite for the 1984 Olympic Games before the boycott.
Her first score was 80.
Looking for a better approach on this vault. Much nicer. Hey, Tuck Yurchenko, how appropriate to see her do this vault again since she was the first one to ever perform this in competition.
Kathy, what are the athletes' nerves like in this professional competition compared with amateur? Have you talked to them about it?
There are a lot less nerves, actually. You know, they've done the competition that they strive to do, and now this is like icing on the cake. It's an opportunity for them to get back out on the floor and perform.
Yurchenko, 87 on her second vault. So Natalia Yurchenko of the Soviet Union. And this was a moment ago, and this was the young man Valentin Mogilny on the pommel horse.
Mogilny certainly made a name for himself in the world of gymnastics for his expertise on the pommel horse. This is a terrific angle to notice the complex movements as he travels up and down the pommel horse. Notice he doesn't even use the pommels as he goes all the way from end to end. That's one of his trademarks. Look at the gorgeous form and leg extension and the Thomas flares on the end as he traveled back across the horse without even using the pommels.
And Bart, you saw that score, 93. That's the top score after the first round in the pommel horse for McGillney, who now resides in France. And we'll return with more of this World Professional Gymnastics Championships in a moment.
Became famous right here in Fairfax,
and we welcome you
Virginia.
back, and this is Brandy Johnson, our next competitor in the vault. Kathy, you talked about her at the top, but she just got out of competition. She has to have a distinct advantage here.
She just retired 6 months ago after a wonderful finish, 5th place in the all-around at the World Cup. She was also the 4th American woman to win a medal at a World Championship. She won a silver medal and on this event.
And she's vaulting to music.
Handspring front tuck, perfect landing.
A little chubby checker in the background, but a little different look at it.
I talked to her before the competition, and she loves working out to music, so this is ideal for Brandy.
And it really gets the crowd involved in it, too.
She is really a dynamic vaulter. You can see the speed into the horse, the lift up into the afterflight. Nice tuck position, and of course, look at the landing.
Here she goes, vault number 2.
And a score of 96 for Brandy Johnson. And that'll put her in the lead in the vault as she gets set for her second vault.
The identical vault. Perfect landing again.
Now, Kathy, they don't have to do the same vault, do they? I mean, they can mix it up.
They're allowed to do 2 different vaults. They may do the same vault, but only the best score counts.
Second all-around in 1985, USSR.
So Brandy, who is now attending community college in Florida and just became engaged, will return with more of ABC's Wide World of Sports after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
We now continue with ABC's Wide World of Sports.
Soviet Union getting set. Roger Twibell and Bart Connor, Kathy Johnson along with you here at this World Professional Gymnastics Championships. Yelena Shevchenko of the Soviet Union, her second vault.
She's performing a Yurchenko vault in laid out position. Oh, with a full twist. Even better than her first vault.
And that first vault, she scored an 89.
This should score much higher. It's a much more difficult vault. Done very, very well.
She was a member of the Soviet Union's gold medal winning team in the 88 Olympics.
From Sofia, Bulgaria, welcome Lubomir Geraskov.
Now we're going to move to the pommel horse. Lubomir Geraskov of Bulgaria.
Geraskov was the Olympic champion back in '88. He tied with Orkai and Bilozerchev for the gold medal, scoring a 10 in the finals. And let's notice his style. Not only does he do a lot of difficulty, but he does a lot of handstands, which is the direction pommel horse has been going.
Bart Shevchenko scored a 96 to tie Brandy Johnson in the vault.
Okay, now the rest of this exercise is very original. Look at that handstand pirouette down to the end, back down in the flares, up to the middle, back down again, and another pirouette off. What an original dismount.
And Geraskov will be staying in the United States after this competition, coaching in Kalamazoo, Michigan. We'll return with the results of that pommel horse competition in just a moment.
Coming up, the American Championship Racing Series featuring the running of the Pimlico Special live as ABC's Wide World of Sports continues.
And we welcome you back. As you take a look at some of the action here, we'll tell you that in the vault, Brandy Johnson and Yelena Shevchenko tied for first place with a score of 96. And in the pommel horse, the men's competition, Valentin Mogilny was a winner, scoring 93. The winners received $2,200 in prize money. And right now, let's go back to our Wide World of Sports studios in New York and Frank Gifford. Frank.
Equipment Company.
Thank you, Roger. As well as having more gymnastics coming up a little later on, we'll be going back out to Indianapolis for another.
This university, and this building holds 10,000. It was built in '85, and we're here for the World Professional Gymnastics Championships and getting set to go. On the beam is Brandy Johnson.
And we have a great balance beam competition going on so far. In the lead is Kelly Garrison with a 97, so that's going to be very difficult to beat. steady on this event. You can hear the music in the background. She's the national champion on this event in 1989. And a finalist on this event in her last amateur competition at the World Cup 6 months ago.
Says she's doing a lot of water skiing and also some diving right now in her spare time.
Here's your most difficult pass. 2 back handsprings to a layout step out. Just a slight balance break there. But keep in mind, the judges are looking for so many different things in this competition. It's not just the level of difficulty, but creativity, originality, and most important, an element of entertainment. Gainer layout step out. Very well done. Here's your punch front. She is just right
That
on
looked
the
pretty
money.
good.
Here comes her dismount. Round up double back. All right. Excellent routine. It's going to be tough for the judges.
Well, we saw a great routine from Kelly Garrison to get that score of 97, and this is going to be awfully close. The 97 by Garrison, by the way, is the highest score achieved so far in this competition.
As I said, the judges are looking for so many different things. It's going to be difficult to compare these two routines.
Now, this is Vladimir Archimov from the Soviet Union, but now resides here in the United States, and he is an interesting study indeed. Vladimir Archimov of the Soviet Union ranked among the best gymnasts of the 80s. He won his first major all-around title when it mattered most at the 1988 Olympic Games. For the past 9 months, Archimov has been living in the mountains of Pennsylvania, coaching, learning English, and the American way of life. Vladimir has found a reason to want to stay. Sharing this house with fellow instructor Sue Demko means sharing responsibilities of everyday life, a new experience after having been strictly provided for in the Soviet gymnastics system. He now prepares his own meals and eats what he likes, like lapsha, a traditional Russian breakfast of noodles, milk, and a little sugar. One of 3 gyms at Bruno Klaas's gym school, this chalet houses the preschoolers. Looking more like romper room than a traditional gym, the decor belies the serious business of training new gymnasts. It's perfect for Archimov, who calls gymnastics hard fun and wants to teach children the classics. Coaching in the U.S. allows a freedom not shared by Archimov's counterparts in the Soviet Union.
It's like I feel here it's like more free, it's like more liberty for me, like freedom. It's here. It's here is like I don't know. It's like if I have money, I want to buy, I buy. It's not like in my country now.
So Archimov is leaping for joy at his newfound lifestyle here in the USA. Vladimir Archimov, you can tell he's really enjoying himself, Bart.
And Archimov is without question the most accomplished parallel bar worker in the world. Not only did he win the Olympic Games, but he won 3 world titles.
Won 4 gold medals in Seoul. Team all around parallel bars and horizontal bar, and really a cornerstone of the Soviet gymnastics team in the 1980s, but very happy being here, enjoys coaching the youngsters.
Interestingly enough, he says he enjoys working with the preschool kids more so than the
Well, that looked like fun to me. Didn't it look like fun to you?
Hey, that's the best part about gymnastics. It's like going to a high-tech playground.
And I think that's what we're seeing here in professional gymnastics. This is fun. The competitors are having fun, and the crowd is really into this with the music, some of the different routines that we're seeing. Bart, you know as well as anyone that it can be a very strained and sometimes difficult situation in amateur gymnastics. As we're going to move over now to Lavinia Agaki of Romania on the beam. By the way, Brandy Johnson scored a 96. Kathy moves into second.
Lavinia was part of the gold medal winning team at the 1984 Olympic Games and also the bronze medalist on the vault. One of the best gymnasts Romania has ever had.
Last competed in the World University Games in 1985.
Here's her dismount.
Lavinia.
Lay out with a full twist. This has been an excellent balancing competition. No falls, just excellent work throughout.
So Lavinia Agaki, and we'll move over to Vladimir Archimov of the Soviet Union, but now lives in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania.
The most important thing to watch for in Archimov's routine is the rhythm and the long, fluid swings. Notice the body line in the handstand. Something the judges are looking for. Elegant lines. One minor break on that back toss and a step on that landing. That's unusual to see him shorter rotation there.
So Archimov completes his routine. Agaki, by the way, with a score of 85 and moves into 6th place in the women's competition. There's Mike Jackie, United States Gymnastics Federation.
This is the last part of that exercise. The pike double backflip, nice tight pike, just a little shorter rotation. And he had to take a step there, which will be one of the deductions from the category of combination and execution. Once again, the judges want to see good rhythm, good form and body line, and of course the landing is important regardless of whether it's amateur gymnastics or pro gymnastics.
Archimov scored 92, but it was not enough because Vladimir Novikov with a 97 prevails on the parallel bars, and on the balance beam Kelly Garrison also with a 97. So those are the two high scores recorded so far today, and we'll return with more of the World Professional Gymnastics Championships from Fairfax, Virginia after this.
Amazing difficulty in this floor exercise routine. As you can see, the costume really goes with the style of the floor exercise. And she finishes with her trademark move. It's named after her, the Shushenova.
This is the World Professional Gymnastics Championships. Along with Kathy Johnson and Bart Connor, I'm Roger Twibell from the George Mason University Patriot Center in Fairfax, Virginia.
Living in the United States and California, would you please welcome world champion?
And from Shushenova, we're going to go back a moment. And this is Dobre from Romania.
Aurelia Dobre was the world champion, world all-around champion, competing on the floor exercise. Many of these gymnasts, I think, were really surprised at the level of this competition. I really think they thought it was going to be more like an exhibition-style performance.
And Dobre only scored an 80. Shushenova scored a 94. And now this is Arthur Akopian of the Soviet Union, who now resides in Glendale, California.
Akopian hadn't worked out in a long time. He said he was really sore from the preparation for this event. He didn't have a lot of time to prepare, but he put together a strong high bar routine. Oh, and a simple dismount for Akopian. He showed 3 big release moves in the exercise.
So we'll be back with those scores in a moment. Daniela Silvash.
Daniela Silvash is probably one of the best all-around gymnasts in the world. She's the winner of a record 9 individual apparatus titles at the World Championships and the Olympic Games, and surprisingly never won a major all-around title in either world or Olympic competition.
Remember, all of these athletes have retired from amateur competition. This is the first professional gymnastics meet they've entered. $50,000 in prize money here today. Each winner will receive $2,200, and then the other participants will receive on down the scale. Not a large sum, but it is the beginning.
Hopefully this will continue, because once amateur gymnasts retire and immediately go right into world professional gymnastics, they're going to be able to maintain their level. Most of these athletes have been out of competition 3-4 years. Twist. Not too bad for somebody that's been out of competition for quite a while.
For Daniel Silovash of Romania.
Chinese all-around champion. Please welcome Tong Fei.
Now, this is Tong Fei, originally from China, now living in Colorado Springs on the high bar.
This guarantees to be one of the more spectacular routines of the day. Tong Fei's high bar has always been among the best in the world. Watch how aggressive he is on these release moves. Oh! Man, he was going for it. He was doing a one-arm release move back over the bar. It's called a reverse hecht.
Tong Fei led China to the world team title in '83. He moved to the United States in 1987, and coaching stops at San Jose State and Stanford, now at the U.S. Olympic Training Center in Colorado Springs. He's also a movie star.
Yes, in fact, he starred in a World War II type movie in China, and the guys at Stanford named him Tong Bo after Rambo. Now watch this dismount. How about that?
Is that any good?
That's pretty spectacular. Double backflip with a full twist in the straddle position.
Well, he's a real showman.
He went over the top of the bar, actually right where he wanted to be, just a little too far out. He was really going for it, going for the big moves, and he realizes that if he's going to capture the attention of the judges in a competition like this, he really needs to go for the big moves.
Silovash scored 84 and moves into second, and we'll return with more. We welcome you back. This is Anja Wilhelm Scheidhold of Germany. Tong Fei, by the way, scored 83 and moved into third place. Scheidhold third in the balance beam, second in on the even bars.
On the horizontal bar from the Soviet Union, performed the only triple back in the Seoul Olympics on the floor. And now you're going to see him on the horizontal bar. Here's Vladimir Gogoladze.
Now, from the Soviet Union, Vladimir Gogoladze.
We watched Gogoladze in the warm-up. He was working on a move that was invented by Mitch Gaylord called the Gaylord 2, and he missed it every time. So here it comes. Oh!
Well, how many times in warm-ups did we see him do that? It seemed like he was falling down all the time.
At least 5 or 6 times. Actually, that was his best effort. He was close to the bar, right where he wanted to be, but obviously didn't have the experience to know what to do when he got that close to the bar.
Now, there's no time constraints on these athletes. It's one of the differences between professional and amateurs. He's a free spirit.
He, along with his teammate Bilozerchev, have been two of the rebels of the Soviet team. In fact, they were kicked off the Soviet team a couple of years ago before the World Championships, and they really had some problems with the Soviet system. They didn't feel that it allowed them enough freedom in their training and in their personal lives as well. I love that move. That's a full pirouette into an inverted giant swing. He really is nicely extended in the shoulder joint. Beautiful double layout dismount.
So Vladimir Gogoladze.
This is a great angle to see what happened. He's going to do 1.5 backflips with a half twist over the bar, and oh, he was right on the end of his fingertips.
Needed longer nails on that one.
Yeah, probably trimmed his nails this morning, and that was the difference. Once again, perfect position, too. Just a little too far away.
And so we go from Gogoladze now to Brandy Johnson.
Brandy was was a two-time national champion on floor exercise in '89 and '90, and one of the most powerful and explosive tumblers in the world. Opens with a high tuck double back. And this is a whole different routine for Brandy.
Change of costumes also.
I think they're really going to have a lot of fun with the format of this competition. This is the thing that gymnasts love the most. It's performance, getting out in front of an audience.
That's a good point. Brandy retired from amateur competition because she's tired of gymnastics training, but now to come back as a pro, she's looking terrific.
And she's having a lot of fun. Nice high layout, step out.
Well, Kathy, that could have to do. She's going to college now. She just got engaged. A lot of other things in her life. I'm sure there's still a love for gymnastics, but maybe not as a full-time job.
You might have noticed this routine was a little long. It's a minute 45, but in professional gymnastics, there are no rules.
Brandy Johnson. And we'll be back to Fairfax, Virginia in a moment. The Gaki of Romania.
And you remember this name from 1984, the Olympic Games. They won the gold medal in the team competition.
Brandy Johnson scored a 92 and moves into second.
She opens with a tuck double back. And she is happy to get that over with.
Here's an interesting note. That leotard is actually designed by Florence Griffin Joyner. Her designs have been internationally acclaimed, and now she's breaking her way into gymnastics.
Lavinia has a delightful style on this event. Middle tap, tumbling run, a double twist. Here's your final tumbling run. And she finishes with a layout full twist. I'm sure she's pleased with that.
Well, right now in the floor exercise, Shushanova is in first with a score of 94. Brandy Johnson second at 92. And right now we're going to go to Dmitry Bilozerchov of the Soviet Union. This is amazing. This man who broke his leg in 40 places back in 1985 and can come back and compete now. Is he full speed in every event, or is he limited in some ways?
He said if they were competing all around today, he'd be ready to compete. He was spectacular on the horse and the parallel bars earlier. This is the event you'll remember from '88 in Seoul, where he made a mistake and it cost him the all-around title. But he looks good here. One-arm giant swings. Beautiful release. Bilozerchev has always had such an incredible style and a real good feel for the rhythm and the pace of a routine. This is a great exercise. A big day for Bilozerchev.
Now, here's Diana.
And we'll move from Bilozerchev to the floor exercise, and Diana Dujeva from Bulgaria.
She was the bronze medalist in the '88 Olympic Games in Seoul. She's a very powerful tumbler.
And Kathy, she's married with a 2-year-old.
That is amazing to me that you can come back to this level 2 years later. Whip back through to pike double back.
Agachi with a score of 88 for fourth place now. Zerchev scored a 99. It's the highest score in this competition.
Another double back. She has one of the more difficult routines being done on the floor exercise. Step out. You can see you won't see the same level of difficulty, at least not this year in the professional gymnastics. But I think in years to come, it's going to get there.
Well, this is just the beginning. This is the first World Professional Gymnastics Championships. And now let's go to our New York studios and Frank Gifford.
Yes,
Frank?
that concludes the competitive.
Okay, Roger, we'll be going back to Fairfax, Virginia. Professional gymnastics, some interesting performances, and we've seen a few champions that have really grown.
Looking very well. World Professional Gymnastics Championships in the women's winners, Johnson and Shevchenko. In the vault, the uneven bars is Weiner, the balance beam Garrison, the floor exercise Shushinova. And the winners receive $2,200. And now in the men's, Gogoladze in the floor exercise, Bilazerchev in the rings, in the vault, Novikov and Marinich. Novikov in the parallel bars, Mogilny in the pommel horse, and Bilazerchev in the high bar. So Bilazerchev with 2 wins, the high bar and the rings. Bart, this is Novikov.
Yes, he had a terrific performance. This is one of the great routines of the day. Novikov 5th in the Soviet Championships. And watch this move. A Straley to a handstand. And here comes a double front within the bars. Well done.
And from Novikov, we see Kelly Garrison now.
Kelly is one of the best balance beam workers in the world. In fact, here's one of her original elements. It's named after the Garrison roll.
So this has been the first World Professional Gymnastics Championships from the George Mason University Patriot Center. For Kathy Johnson and Bart Conner, I'm Roger Twibell. Hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for being with us.
Okay, Roger.